Mohamed Mokaev is now begging the UFC to please let him back. Please, Dana, please! He says, my dream is to become UFC champion. I turned them all down because UFC gave me the platform to put my name out there and earn money to feed my family. By the way, PFL don't have flyweight division. All these journalists make this S up are idiots. I hope Dana resigns me. This is my dream to become champion. If you want to become a UFC champion, Mr. Mokaev, you must conduct yourself as a UFC champion. Getting into brawls and sucker punching people and, causing issues before fights, literally in the cage before a fight, where you have to be separated by security. We've never seen that before. We've seen security in there, but not like physically holding people back. You brought this upon yourself and you reap what you sow. You have to now live with your decision and make a living outside of the UFC for now. This is not to say that Mohamed Mokaev should never be signed by the UFC again or anything like that. The kid, he's only 23 years old, needs some maturing. He needs to sober up, so to speak. This guy, I remember Dana White on The Ultimate Fighter. The guy's name, I want to say Jesse Taylor. I could be wrong on that. But he ended up winning the comeback season of The Ultimate Fighter. Anyways, this guy was bugging out, doing a bunch of wild stuff, disobeying the rules of the house, left the house to go party, and when they went partying, he got in trouble with the cops. Some wild stuff, right? I can't recall it off the top of my head, but you get my point. Point being, Dana White pulled this guy into the office and said, hey man, you're just on The Ultimate Fighter. You're not even famous yet. You haven't even gotten one win inside the UFC yet. Imagine, and if this is how you're acting without the fame, without the wins and the notoriety in the UFC, and just saying, oh, I'm on The Ultimate Fighter, just being that guy, imagine how you'll act when you can actually say, I'm an official UFC fighter. I'm a top-ranked contender. I'm a UFC champion. It's a headache, guys. And the UFC doesn't need headaches. Okay, what I mean? They got the few headaches that they do have. The guys like John Jones, the Paulo Costas of the world, the Khamzat Chimaevs of the world, pulling out of fights. These things aren't good. The UFC doesn't want to encourage that. The UFC doesn't want to breed more of that into the culture. So we can't have guys like this, Mohamed Mokaev, coming out telling Manal Kape, my Muslim brother, yeah, let's take a picture together. Takes a picture, and then Kape turns around and that's Mokaev getting ready to steal him, getting ready to and sucker punch him. What happened to Muslim brother? You cannot use your religion to lure someone into comfort with you and a false sense of security only for you to hit them. That's a bad deed right there, okay? That's a very much a bad deed, and he will, receive his comeuppance for that, and he will have to answer for that one day. So it is what it is on that. But Mohamed Mokaev needs to look in the mirror. He needs to take accountability, and he needs to move forward accordingly, and he needs to do the right things. He needs to do good deeds. He needs to be an upright person, not someone that does low down stuff like that, okay? And maybe one day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins outside of the UFC, maybe he gets that phone call again, you know what I mean? Maybe he could, if he can show that he conducts himself, maybe by the time he's 27, 28, 29 years old, he could be back in the UFC. But right now, at 23 years old, he's far too immature, and he's a liability for the UFC, and this is a business. So I agree with the UFC. It is what it is. He's got to take accountability. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, whether you agree, disagree. It really doesn't matter. Just join the discussion, follow for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.